Welcome to Cash Chats, the podcast from BeCleverWithYourCash.com that helps you make the most of your money. I'm Andy Webb.
And I'm Amelia Murray. In episode 389, I'm sharing how registering to vote can help your credit score and the cheapest way to get photo ID so you can actually vote.
Then I'm going to be looking at some hacks for those reward current accounts, those switching offers that require you to spend with your debit card. Plus, I'm going to answer some community questions about bank switching deals. All of that in this episode today.
Then we'll both take you through our deals of the week. This is episode 389 of Cash Chats. So you've probably seen it in the news. There is a general election coming up. July the 4th is the day we're all going to go and vote, hopefully. If you are not registered, it's a really good idea to do so. Not only does it allow you to have a vote in who's going to be running the country, but it's also really good for your credit score. So when you are on the electoral roll, it shows everyone, the credit reference agencies and lenders, that you are who you say you are and you do actually live where you say you do. This information is available to credit reference agencies so that when you apply for current accounts and credit, lenders can be sure of your identity. If you're on the open register, it means that your information is available to businesses who can send you marketing material, which, I mean, let's be honest, not many of us actually want. But if you opt out, you are still able to vote and your info will still be available to credit reference agencies, but you won't get spammed. So yeah, be sure to kind of tick the box, which means that you're not on the open register. A new requirement is that you need ID to vote. So you'll need to take this to the polling station with your ballot before you will be allowed to vote. If you've already got a passport or a driving license, brilliant. These will work fine. And even if they're expired, you can still use them as ID if you still look the same. So yeah, it's probably unlikely that you'll be able to use like an expired baby passport. But yeah, if it's something that's expired over the last year, you still look the same, it should be all good. You can also use some photo bus passes, such as the Freedom Pass and bus passes for kind of older people. But if you're without these forms of ID and you're thinking that you need to get a driving license or a passport, they are expensive. A provisional driving license is £34. Yes, you can use it as kind of ID moving forward. And, if you're a driver, you need to have, if you're kind of thinking about getting a license, a provisional is what you need to have driving lessons. If this is the option for you, you're going to need your 3-year address history, a passport photograph, other identity documents, such as your birth certificate and your national insurance number. If you've had a full or provisional license before but lost it, you can cut the price and get a replacement for £20, but you will need those same documents to apply as you do kind of for a new license. A passport is not just ID, it is your license to travel, if you will. But this is the most expensive option. It's £88.50 when you apply online, or £100 if you do it with the paper form. And again, it's a bit more of a complicated process. So you'll need a digital passport photo. You'll also need to send in documents like your birth certificate to verify your identity, and you will need someone to confirm your identity. And so the way you do this is you give that information to the passport office and they will contact them on your behalf. And then once it's done, it should take about 3 weeks to get the passport. However, if it is your first adult passport, you may need to go in and have a face-to-face interview. So it could take longer. And once you've got it, it is valid for 10 years. These are still options. And if you are going to make use of them in your life, then that's fine. However, if you're thinking that you need to get these ID forms for voting purposes, then you don't. We've actually got a few cheaper options and some are even free, which I'm just going to take you through now. So the free option, you may not have heard of it, but there's a thing called a voter authority certificate. It's free. It allows you to vote in some elections and referendums in Great Britain, but you can't use it for ID elsewhere. It's a straightforward process. You apply online on the government website. You'll need a recent digital photo and your national insurance number. And if you don't have your national insurance number, you can use other documents to prove your identity, such as a bank statement or a utility bill. When you get to the application process and you go through the questions, you will be asked if you have any other forms of ID. It will give you examples, and you'll need to confirm that you don't. And you'll also need to know what address you're registered to vote at. There is a deadline for this. So if you want it for the upcoming election, you will need to apply by 5 p.m. on the 26th of June. That's the cutoff point. One thing to worth noting, it's sort of technically a free option. If you choose to vote by post, you don't actually need ID. So it kind of, takes the decision out of your hand of what to choose. You don't have to vote by post, but if you decide to, you will need to apply online on the government website. You can choose to vote by post for just this election or every upcoming one. You'll need to provide your address, your national insurance number, the date of the election you want to vote for, and a photograph of your signature. You'll then send the ballot, which you send back by free post. Again, there's a cut-off point here, so you will need to register by 5 p.m. on the 19th of June. So in the next few weeks, if this is the option that you want to pick. And then finally, you may not have heard of it, but there's a thing called a pass card, and it's part of the National Proof of Age Standard Scheme. I think I had one when I was younger at some sort of open day for university when I was 17. It's an official kind of proof of age, if you will. It's often marketed at under 16s or kind of, over 18s, kind of young people. And you can kind of take it to retailers. You can use it in shops. But it's available to everyone, not just students. And it costs £15 from the post office or online at myidcard.com. Straightforward process. You'll need a digital photo of yourself and a referee to vouch for you, so kind of someone professional. And if you order from the post office, it will take 3 weeks to arrive. And my ID card advises 10 days. And then once you've got it, they last for 3 years. So those are your options. And if you do want to vote, please do. And you need ID, then do hurry because most of them have cut-off points. And if you're not sure if you've got the kind of right ID to vote, we have got the full list over on becleverwithyourcash.com. So Andy, you've been looking at some of the questions listeners and viewers have asked in our Facebook group.
Yeah, quite a few of them over the last week have been on bank switching deals because we have seen so many new ones come along as we detailed in the episode last week. A lot of the questions people are asking, the answers can be found in the articles that I've written and the videos that I've created. So if you're not sure about a switch deal, do check those out first and check out the actual websites from the banks as well, because they have all the terms and conditions there. But there are a couple of common ones here that I thought I could talk about, some interesting ones. So first of all, Adam asked about switching away from Nationwide to TSB, as he also has a cash ISA with them, and he doesn't want to lose that rate that he's got. He doesn't want to have to move his money. And his concern is that by switching your current account, then he's going to lose that. Now, this particular case, you're absolutely fine. The cash ISA from Nationwide is not linked to the current account. And in fact, the vast majority of products which you get with a bank are separate to a current account. So you're going to be fine switching away and they'll just stay working in the background. What you do have to be careful with, and there aren't many of these, but there are some savings accounts, some credit cards, maybe even some mortgages, which do require you to have a current account with that bank in order to get either a preferential rate or to avoid a fee or to even just have access to that account full stop. So regular savers are big ones here. Nationwide does have a decent paying regular saver, which you have to have a current account with to get that. Same with First Direct, same with Club Lloyds. So those kind of things you want to think about, you might lose those, as well as some perks. Again, Club Lloyds, again, is a good one. If you switch away those cinema tickets you got or the Disney Plus you got, that'll stop working. So do just double check those things you're worried about. What are they connected to? And that'll help you decide if you want to switch away. Remember, you can set up a dummy account if you're not sure. If you do want to keep something active for whatever reason, and we've detailed much more information about that over on the site and also there's videos on the YouTube channel. The next one here is from Dan. And this is the kind of question I get all the time. And this is, he's specifically asking, when will the NatWest, RBS or Ulster offers return? Well, I don't know, sadly. This is one of those things that there are kind of patterns we see where deals can come again at the same time at regular points, but you never know for certain if that's going to happen. And sometimes they'll surprise you and just throw something out there. So all we say is, if there is a new deal, as soon as we hear about it, and that's almost always on the day, whether it's because we're checking the websites ourselves or we've been sent a press release or someone spotted it in the community and let us know, we will be writing it up and updating that on the site. So becleverwithyourcash.com/banks is where you will find which deals are running right now. And if something's returned, then you'll know. And also, you've got to remember is, although some of these deals can run for only a couple of weeks, you're still going to have time, hopefully, if you're keeping an eye on those sites or subscribe to our newsletter to know when they're going out so you won't miss out. I've got a couple more. We've got an anonymous question here. This one was saying they were rejected for a TSB account, which they were opening for a switch bonus. So that's the whole reason they were opening this TSB account, but they were rejected. And they've asked, is it because they're currently midway through a different switch, this time with Santander? And the answer is no. That's completely irrelevant. The opening up the account itself with TSB, they have rejected you for some unknown reason. Unfortunately, it's not always going to be easy to find out why. You can contact TSB and ask them, and they might tell you. If they won't tell you, it's worth having a look at your credit report. Just check there's nothing in there, no information that's wrong, and make sure it tallies up with what you put in your application form, because they might be looking at it and going, oh, hang on, why is this happened and why has this happened? But it will be nothing to do with the fact that you're going through another switch at the moment elsewhere. And the last one here is around the nationwide switch account, which again, detailed recently. You can get this one, you might remember, not just for your personal account, if you're eligible. And we won't go over that again because it's quite complicated. The details over on the site. But you can also get it for a joint account. And this question was, they don't have a joint account elsewhere to switch into this joint account. And does that matter? And the simple answer is no. You can switch a personal current account, a solo current account, into a joint account, and that will count as the switch in order to trigger the bonus. You can't, however, switch from a joint account into a personal account. And that's not what you've asked, but that's something to bear in mind there, because you need both people there to have that permission, and you won't be able to do that into a personal account. So there you go. There's obviously, there were loads more of those. And if you want to, find out those, then you can sort of ask them again another time.
Brilliant. And do keep them coming. If you have got a question for me or Andy, head to becleverwithyourcash.com/community, because we'd love to hear from you.
Now, if you're watching this episode of the podcast on YouTube, then to catch the section where I take you through the hack where debit card spending requirements for a lot of these banking rewards and switching offers can be hacked, where you're effectively spending money but not spending money, then you'll need to click through to a separate video. This takes you through everything you need to know. But don't forget, there's more still to come, as we've got our deals of the week as well. Okay, let's wrap things up with our deals of the week. What have you got first, Amelia?
First up, Amazon. So you can get £3 off at least a £10 spend when you use Amazon Pickup. So this is when your order is sent to like a pickup location, like an Amazon locker or something, and it's not for orders sold by kind of third parties. But this is only for eligible accounts. So it may be that you're a chosen one and you've had an invite, or you'll see a banner on the website, and then you'll need to claim the offer on the website, spend the £10 and you get the £3 off. The offer is valid until December the 31st, which sounds like you've got ages, but it's only for the first 20,000 customers, and you can only do it once.
Yeah, these deals that Amazon do so many of these, don't they, where it's, are you eligible? And you click through and you're not most of the time. But this particular one, Zoe and the team and myself, we both clicked through and we're both eligible for this. So it's definitely worth clicking through. In fact, we've actually got the link you need to click over at becleverwithyourcash.com/deals. Just look for the Amazon deals section. You'll be able to find it shortcut rather than try and search for it within Amazon. Find it there, and hopefully you can take advantage and activate the offer. And then, you've got until December to spend it, as you say. I've got a savings account deal for everyone now. This is around Chase. You might remember in April, they did a kind of boost, a 1% boost for some savers, jumping from 4.1% to 5.1%. But it was a bit controversial because it was only people who hadn't been using the savings account who were able to get it. And there were lots of loyal customers who's like, look, I'm using Chase for my savings. I have been since the beginning. It's not fair that I don't get this. Well, it sounds like Chase have listened. This is only just the time we're recording this. It's only just launched this morning on Monday. So not all the information is through. But basically, this new offer that's come along is exactly the same in terms of giving you a 1% boost to the current rate. But more people should be able to get it. So as of the 2nd of May, you either need to have not had a Chase Saver account at all, or cumulatively across all your different Chase Savers, because you can have up to 10 of them within the account, have a balance of less than £50,000. So that would hopefully mean that most people with a Chase Savings account are going to be able to access this. With one, what looks like quite a key exception is if you took advantage of the previous offer in April, you won't be able to get it this time. Now, I've written up more information about this over on the site, so you can read the full article with details. But essentially, you're going to get this top-up rate until the middle of January 2025. So it's a rate of 5.1%, which is very hard to beat. Just do bear in mind that the underlying rate, that 4.1%, is variable and it is linked to the Bank of England base rate. So if the Bank of England do cut rates this year, which we expect they will, then that will drop down as well. But certainly, if you've got Chase, go into the app, see if you're eligible, and it's worth taking a look at that.
I've already taken advantage. I was first on it. Shouted upstairs to my boyfriend. Have you got it? Go on. Have you moved your money yet? So yeah, we're all on it in my house this morning. Next up, again, free booze. So, well, I say free booze. It's actually non-alcoholic, but it's still great for the summer. You can get a free 4-pack of Lucky Saint, which is worth £6. It's either non-alcoholic lager or it's IPA. The deal ends on the 31st of July or when they're all gone. So yeah, it's still live today, but yeah, probably will be very popular. You'll need to unlock your claim link via SMS or WhatsApp and then make your purchase from participating Tesco and Sainsbury's stores and then request the money back. But we've got the link and more information on our craft beer page over on the site.
A couple of credit card deals for you, both American Express ones as well. The first one is just a heads up that the British Airways American Express Premium Plus credit card deal, which I spoke about recently, that ends on the 11th of June. So it's a pretty healthy bonus. There's 60,000 Avios points if you're eligible. And remember, you're eligible for these BA Amex card bonuses, even if you've had a bonus from a different Amex, which is really unusual compared to most of the welcome offers. The only one that's going to rule you out is if you've got or had either of those British Airways American Express cards in the last 2 years. But if you've had the gold, the platinum, the cashback, whatever it might be, and you've still got one of those, you might be able to get this offer. The thing is, though, you have to go via the British Airways Executive Club account as basically like the loyalty scheme for BA. That's where your Avios points are going to be stored. You have to open up one of those and you'll need it anyway to store your Avios points that you earn. Go in there, look for the link and click from there when you apply, because that's how it's going to be tracked. I've had a few people in the community say that they did it via the app, and I'm finding out more about this. So maybe that's the BA app and it hasn't tracked. So I would, just to be safe, go via the British Airways on your browser, log in there, click the link and then apply. But that's a really healthy bonus. Again, more details on the site, and in the previous episodes, you do have to pay a fee, and there's lots of other things, so do read more about it or listen more about it before you go down that route. But the other one to say about is a new one that has just launched. This is for the American Express Preferred Rewards Gold credit card. It is a boost of the welcome points you get from a normal 20,000 points to a 25,000 points. So not a massive increase, but it's still not bad at all. But there's also the opportunity to go via a cashback site like Quidco or Top Cash and get another huge bonus. Those bonuses change quite a lot, but I spotted one the other day, which is quite healthy as well. And obviously you're going to earn points as you spend. So this could be worth around 210 quid as a welcome bonus, making it one of the better ones out there. Because remember, this card is free in the first year. You will have to spend £3,000 in the first 3 months and not have had an American Express card of any type in your name in the last 2 years. Again, full details over at BeCleverWithYourCash.com.
And finally, you can get free day passes on Santander cycles every Sunday in June. So those are those, formerly the Boris bikes around like central London. Every Sunday in June, you can get free unlimited 30-minute rides. So do be careful with this because charges will apply after 30 minutes. So it's kind of like, do you remember the days of the BT landline? My mum used to get the 63 minutes. Then when I got to 59, she'd hang up and call her friend back again. So yeah, it's basically like that. You have to enter the code Cycle Sundays on the Santander Cycle apps or at the docking station terminal.
So you can just cycle for 29 minutes, as long as there's a space left at a docking spot, go in and then get it out again and carry on your ride if you need to.
Yeah, nice. It's like interval training.
Got to make sure you get there before the time's up. Yeah. That is it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us by listening or watching the show. Don't forget, we aren't just on the podcasting apps, we're also on YouTube now with the show. So you've got loads of places you can catch up with all the content we're creating. My name's Andy Webb.
And I'm Amelia Murray. This is Cash Chats. We're back with our look at the top money stories on Thursday on YouTube and Friday on all podcast apps.
We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.